3, 2, 1.
I have a hard time not disliking friends of mine who support Hillary. And
Wow.
I know that that's not a nice thing to say, and I really don't care, right? Because my political views represent the core of who I am. I understand if they might be ignorant on some policy ideas, but I have friends that I have sat down with and had very detailed conversations. Look, I'm not here for a fucking hobby, okay? This is what I do for my career, okay? This is what I live for. So it's not like I'm reading some headlines and I'm like, hey, I want to engage in some political discourse. No. So I sit down and I explain to them in so many different ways. I had conversations about Hillary Clinton's support of private prisons, Hillary Clinton's support of for-profit colleges, Hillary's support of ridiculous foreign policy that has only perpetuated more war, detailed explanations for why she is not a good progressive candidate. And they reject that evidence. And so how is it possible for me to respect them after that?
You feel the same way.
It's very hard when people dismiss logic that you still have to retain respect for them.
So the fact that we know the policies better just because of the nature of our job, they don't give us any credit for that. Like, so a mechanic would get credit for knowing cars better, right?
A doctor would get credit for knowing how to operate on a fucking heart, right? So how insulting would it be if I walked into a surgeon performing open heart surgery and I said, you know what, I think that artery needs some work. But when they say it is a priority for them, and I explain to them in detail and provide evidence for why Bernie Sanders would be better on that policy, and they just straight out give me the middle finger and tell me to fuck off.
They don't do that, though. They don't.
Not
do that.
literally.
That's
it's
how you
metaphorically.
feel.
Yes.
That's how you feel.
Yes.
But again, it's like, politics is like sports. Like, I can bring you out all these stats on why Kobe's not as good as Jordan or whatever it is.
I could too.
He's not as good.
Right.
He's not as good.
Okay. All right. See?
Don't freak out.
But what will happen is people think they know sports just as well as any top commentator, any top analyst, and they think they know politics just as well as anyone because that's a thing that they get to have an opinion on. They don't get to have an opinion on quantum physics, right? Because you have to have a PhD in that. But hey, you don't get to tell me who I'm going to support politically. Secondly, studies have borne out that people are super reluctant to change their opinion on politics, even when confronted by facts. By the way, not just conservatives, but also liberals.
And in fact, will strengthen now that they know that it's the wrong opinion, they will strengthen it. They'll believe it more strongly than they did before.
Right. So that is a phenomenon that you're battling against, even with your friends, even with quote unquote reasonable people, because it affects all of us as human beings. Now,
which you can subvert that. You have to be very careful, use certain techniques, but you can persuade people of things politically. But it is not a fast thing, and it's not by winning an argument.
I'm not obsessed with being right. I'm really not, right? Like, I know for a fact that I will be open to any criticism of Bernie that's justified. With all the injustices happening in the world, the Associated Press decided to take up the big story of dental floss and whether or not there's enough scientific evidence backing the impact and the benefits of it on your gums and teeth.
oh, God, thanks God.
I love this story because it actually, it fires me up.
You're the only one in America.
Yeah, so let me give you the details. The Associated Press, I don't know, there's apparently a writer or a reporter there who was like, I really fucking hate flossing my teeth, so let me see if I can, tear down the flossing industry. And here's what happened. The AP looked at the most rigorous research conducted over the past decade, focusing on 25 studies that generally compared the use of a toothbrush with the combination of toothbrushes and floss. The findings? The evidence for flossing is weak, very unreliable, or very low quality, and carries a moderate to large potential for bias. I got it, dude. You don't like to floss. Then don't floss. Don't floss. Don't encourage other people to avoid flossing. That is a terrible idea. Flossing is important. I don't give a shit about the studies.